Welcome to the Co-op Zone. We're gonna review Dying Light 2, a game the Co-op Zone have been playing for a few months now. You can watch the gameplay videos at our channel, but now let's dig into the review. In this video we're gonna go through some game information, the juicy bit which is the storyline, co-op gameplay, a little bit about the graphics, and then we're gonna summarize it all and give it a rating. Dying Light 2 is a sequel to Dying Light. The developer of this game is Techland, and you can play up to 4 people in co-op mode. So we went into playing this game with a lot of expectations, because the first reviews that came out of this game was pretty good, but there were a few bugs that really annoyed us.
Alright, that was the end of the mission. We can't even leave the door.
And there was a lot of talking that was just gibberish talking from the people in the game. But we'll come back to that a bit later. The storyline of Dying Light 2 is set in a decaying city that is struggling to keep itself together amid competing factions. So you will have a lot more to deal with than just undead monstrosities. The decisions you make and the groups you team up with will shape the world around you, allowing you to reap the ensuing rewards if you can stomach the consequences, with many critics praising its combat, mobility, co-op multiplayer, and the day-night cycle. We experienced that the storyline was very good and very in-depth, although there was a lot of talking that just didn't make sense and they could just scratch it, so we could play a bit more, to be honest. Yes, you can skip the talking, but we wanted to understand whole storyline, so we tried to look and watch as much as we could. The parkour side was really good as well. It was challenging, and the more you played it, the better you got. More freely you could move around, up and down and to the sides. So if you want to play a scary game that has a good story behind it, this is definitely it. But then comes the major bugs we at the Co-op Zone experienced. There was a few missions where we were pumped up and ready to do, but then all of a sudden the first door we had to go through was just locked, as if someone just locked it and threw out the key. Nowhere we could go. So we had to restart the game, watch all that nonsense talk again, and the loading, which was dreadful. So the co-op side of it was also really good. We could help each other out in certain missions. That was really vital.
If you press the R3 button, it scans and will show you.
And another positive was that the rewards you earned in co-op was always there with you when you went back to single player, which is really good, and Far Cry 6 could learn from. And as previously mentioned, you can play up to 4 people in co-op. We definitely had a lot of fun playing this game.
Haters, you promised. Cool. But I keep my promises.
So that actually was bad.
We also like the weapon choices. There's a lot of weapon upgrades that makes the fights very creative. You can, for example, fix a spark mod, and then you can add a fire to one of the weapons as well. You can add a shock that will paralyze the enemies with each strike. One note though, the paragliding was very tricky at times. Sometimes just opening and operating it was very tricky, or the button response was just delayed. So that's a part where Dying Light 2 could improve, for sure. No game is perfect. The graphics is a C engine, it's a Japanese game engine, and there's not really much more to it. The graphics was good, not perfect. We have played a lot of Far Cry, so that's why the reference. But compared to Far Cry, it lacks a little bit of the graphics. But we thought that the humans in this game was just a tad better than Far Cry. Weapons are fun and upgrades makes it even more interesting. The graphics did not leave the game in a worst place either. The co-op mode is good. Nothing more, nothing less. We will give this game 2.5 stars out of 5. Thanks a lot for watching this review of Dying Light 2. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to our channel, make a like to this video as well, and as always, have a nice day. Adios.